What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 12 of Wrecked Bike Rebuild. How's it going? So if you're new here, this is the series where I take a wrecked motorcycle from a website called Dash Hub that has a salvage title, and thanks to my awesome people over on Patreon who helped fund this build, I built it back into something awesome. This one kind of looks like that. And then I will end up giving the bike away to one of those people that support the build. So if you want to check out the Patreon page, links as always in the description. Massive appreciation to all of you guys that are already over there. Also, why are you just now watching episode 12? Start at 1. Anyway, what are we gonna do on this episode? So if you haven't watched episode 11, I highly recommend it. I planned on episode 11 being the very last episode that I mess with the bike, and then I'm gonna take it to a dealer to get some professional installation on some a little difficult parts that I don't really feel comfortable getting installed on. Ran into some major issues in that episode and had to extend the series one more episode. This is that episode. If everything goes good in this episode, which I feel real good, positive, and confident that that's gonna happen, we will be installing and finishing installing the reservoirs for the brakes, the clutch, and the rear brake. We're going to install some sliders, a horn, LEDs, and I think that's it. It should be pretty good. Also, before we get started, I wanted to show you guys some stuff and give you some info just in case you're curious. That stuff is this. So are you guys watching this episode right now and thinking, what is that sound in the background? Well, it's this thing. This little guy is a shop air blower thingy-majigger. It sounds like this. Sounds terrible, right? Well, that's because the AC in our apartment slash thing hasn't been working for like the last 3 days, so it's hot as shit. So what I have is that blowing into the garage and air is circulating. It makes it bearable in here. So the reason I'm telling you that is because if you hear, don't know if this mic will pick it up, but if you can hear that slight noise in the background, that's what it is. It's a little bit of a pain. Hopefully you guys can deal with it and not worry about it too much, because otherwise I would sweat to death and die in this episode. Also, I don't know if you would call this install, but I got this really cool thing that's gonna help me out doing work on the bike, and it's gonna make it so I don't have to move so much stuff around if I'm using power. Check it out. I got a retractable power cable thing. I'm gonna show you how I installed it, but what this does is I've got it installed underneath my table, which is where my circuit thing is, and it'll retract itself. Now I don't have to move that giant tool cabinet just to have power. And it should work. Nice, check it out. All right, so you guys know that I've got the table right here. This little guy has power, but if I want to do something over here with a power tool, I normally have to get this guy and move him all the way around and put him here. Instead of having to do all that, now I've got this. So I've got this little guy screwed into the wall. He just plugs in right here, and now I can It's amazing the simple things that will really excite you when you have a garage. Anyway, okay, let's start doing stuff on this motorcycle because we got a lot of things to get going. So we're gonna start out with the levers. And then I've got to figure out if I can make the brake light work with the brake using one of the adapters I just got over there. This little thing, because right now the brake lights don't necessarily work. We've also got this stuff. I'm going to tell you about a friend of mine, LEDs, bar slider things, and look, the things came in. The brackets that we didn't have that it will focus on. So guys, if you remember last week, I was trying to install these levers and get the tubing working. I had to cut tubing that I already had, and then I was trying to get these things installed with these Rizoma bar mirror things that I got, because the Brimbos don't have any type of mounting point for the reservoirs. So in order to solve that problem, I ended up going to the hardware store and ordered on Amazon last week a couple of things that are going to help us out with building this thing like it should be, and I think it's going to end up being way cooler than I even expected it to be. Let me show you the stuff that I got. Okay, so you guys know I needed another bracket to hold the reservoir on. This is one of the brackets that I got. Now this bracket is the exact same as the other one I had, and it worked out really well, so I got one of those just in case, and I ended up getting a bar mount one just in case for some reason I wanted to go with another look on the other side, or if the other reservoir didn't fit that bracket. At this point I would rather be way safe than sorry. Also, so this is what I got today at the hardware store. I didn't find exactly what I wanted, but I think I found something that's definitely gonna work. So this is the bolt slash nut slash whatever I got to go in the top of the Rizoma mounting things. Oddly enough, this is a size M10 nut slash bolt. I really don't know what the difference in a nut and a bolt are, but some of the M10s didn't work. Like from what I understand, M10 is the diameter of this thing, and this is the shortest one I could get. So from what I can understand, all M10 bolts should be the same, but they're not. Some of them worked and some of them didn't. This one was just one of the ones that worked, so I've got two of these, but it doesn't go far enough down to hold the bracket on tightly. So what I had to do was get some washers. Now, a lot of the washers there were like really big, or like at least the ones that fit the M10, and they just didn't look really cool. But I found these cool little things. They kind of look like little gears, and they work really well for being a little washer. So what I'm gonna do is stack some of those up on this and then use that to hold it in. Now I know what you're probably thinking, why are you putting this giant silver bolt on this really awesome blacked out bike? Don't worry, because I'm painting it, and I'm also gonna paint these little things black before I put them on. So it's gonna look like this little geared situation. It's gonna look cool, I'm pretty sure. I'll show you, like, obviously we'll be able to see it at the end of the thing and you guys will be able to see, but I got a good feeling about it. There's also some more stuff I got. So last week I took off the stock reservoirs and I just tried to use the little black rubber hosing, and I ended up cutting it because these are different and they had to be different sizes, and once I cut it, like, that was it. Some of them were actually too small, so what I did was order some clear tubing that I think is gonna look really cool because you're gonna see the brake fluid on the, like, actually in the tubing. I think it's gonna look pretty dope. And you guys commented that the little stock clamps that hold the hosing on it are absolutely garbage. So I looked around on Amazon, had a hard time finding something, but came across these things. Now I ordered a giant assortment of them of all different types of shapes and sizes. Not shapes, I guess, because they're all circular, but they look like some little heavy duty clamps. So I'm gonna be using these and I'm gonna install them on all 3 locations of the bike. Hopefully they work out good. If you guys are interested in any of the stuff, I'm gonna try to put it in links in the description if you wanna check it out, if I can. If I can't, then SOL to you. Okay, so I'm gonna get this stuff installed with all of these new parts that we just got. Should be good. I think we're just gonna have to go with the right angle one for this one because the other holes are too big. I went and grabbed the old top reservoir, and it looks like it uses the same sized tube, or, you know, whatever. So I feel pretty good about putting this in there. We just gotta get this in there. Grab the lube. Based on the other side, it looks like it takes 3 of these little geared washer looking things to make the nut fit correctly. Okay, 5, never mind. Yep. Interesting that it took more on that side. So that's a more accurate look at what the front of the bike will look like with the two reservoirs. Got the tubes on there pretty nicely. There's no kinks in them, so they're not gonna like bunch up. And these clamps look like they're pretty solid. Yeah, I gotta tighten these down now though. Alright, so before we get these reservoirs filled up with brake fluid, do you guys remember when this happened? Okay, so no sparks, but that's off. Okay, cool. So after reading the comments, the overwhelming information that you guys gave me was that I should have drilled holes inside of this bar instead of dremeling off the little nubs off of these little controls. And because of that, stuff like this can happen. So the workaround, from what I can understand, is to get electrical tape, wrap it around the bar, and then clamp these back down on, because these guys are made for a very specific width, which is this bar. So if you add electrical tape, you add like resistance in that width, and this should be able to lock on really tightly. I'm not really worried about this side because you can't move it. Like the entire bar moves before it moves. So I'm gonna do it for this side, see how it works, and if it's like really easily, I might do it for the other side. But first, this side. I forgot that somebody sent in this little magnetic dish thing for me in the P.O. box. So whoever you are, appreciate that. I will now use it. I have found out that I really enjoy opening the P.O. box when I get random things for the build, or for Wreck Bike Rebuild. So it's always fun to see somebody like supporting the build and like randomly sending stuff that, like, a couple of things have come in. It's like, Chase, you really need this. So you guys that send stuff are really awesome. If you're interested, the P.O. box is right there and in the description. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but right here there used to be a little plastic nub and I just cut it off. So what I should have done is drill a hole right here that fit that perfectly. Obviously, going back now is not an option, but I feel really strongly about this whole electrical tape thing. So what I'm going to do is grab electrical tape and do a couple rounds, and we'll see how it goes. Guys, I'm literally losing my mind right now. I know for a fact it was literally hiding underneath the stuff. Okay, mind is no longer lost. Back to doing what I was doing. Okay, now to see if it'll fit. I might have gone slightly overboard with the tape. No problem though. So if you're doing this, something to think about is you would rather have too much tape than not enough. Because if you don't have enough, you're gonna have to go through the entire process of wrapping it. Where if you just go ahead and put too much on there, you can always go back. Alright, that is a hell of a lot better. That's not going anywhere. Yeah, I feel really safe with that. So this is the kind of scary part. I've got my DOT4 brake fluid, and we're gonna do the front brakes first. And first I gotta pour the fluid into the reservoir. I really hope this doesn't go everywhere, because this shit could ruin everything that it touches. So this is a little terrifying. I've watched the videos that I found multiple times. It should go okay. We'll see if it actually goes okay. Wish me luck. Ooh, I got so close to f***ing that up. Holy crap. Okay, glad that didn't overflow. Just as a safety precaution, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on. Okay, so the brake fluid's in there. We've got the safety here. So now we've got to go to the farthest brake line away from the reservoir to pull the liquid through the entire line, because the entire line shouldn't have anything in it right now. Okay, so if I understand this process correctly, which there is a good chance I don't. Actually, I'm gonna put liquid there. I'm going to hook up the little vacuum to the line, the little bleeder line thing, which is this little guy right here. So now I'm going to pump air or pressure into this guy, and you can see the little nozzle, the little needle going up. What should happen is I build up pressure and then I unlock it a little bit and it should pull liquid through. And it is pulling liquid through. Ah! It's there! Oh lordy! Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this like I just did. Did nothing come out up here? Oh wait, it did. Okay, so okay, so there is liquid coming down. You guys can see the liquid right there. This should be full of liquid though. This shouldn't be... Is there anything on my hands? Is there anything coming off of there? No. What about there? No. Okay, so that was a little confusing because there's no liquid up here in the tube, but liquid is coming out. Weird. Huh. I'm gonna watch the video again one more time. Okay, so guys, I think I figured it out. All I need to do is just keep this open and keep filling it back up, and all the while I open the valve, like pump the little hand pump thing, close it when this gets low, and I'm gonna do that until I see no more air coming through the lines. And once I do that, I'm gonna move over to this other side. So this is a lot of back and forth process. I'm just gonna set the camera up like away from what I'm doing, and I'm just gonna do it all, and that way you guys can see it. There's not gonna be like little cuts back and forth. That would get repetitive as hell. Alright, so I've done this a ton of times on this side, the farthest from the actual front brake. So what I'm going to do is I've got this little exhaust, not an exhaust, but like where all the liquid's coming out. I've got it locked down, so I'm going to take the hose off. I am a little worried because there is a little bit of fluid still in here. I'm going to take the hose off and then put it on the other side. I really don't want liquid to go everywhere though. Okay, well that definitely helped to have a rag over it. Oop, got to take the water. So for some reason this side's not working the same. So what I'm gonna do is just do it the like old school method where you pump the brakes. Then you lock it, building up pressure in the brakes by pumping them. There is no more air bubbles coming out of that one, so I feel like that one's probably good. Yep, no air coming out of that. Cool. I think that means the front brakes are working. I think. There is a little too much brake fluid in here though, so I'm going to just soak some of it out. Alright guys, so it looks like we've got our front brake figured out. We've got actually pressure in there and everything should be doing good. Now, to be honest, off camera, I redid the entire thing, but I did the method of where you hook the hose up to the little exhaust valve, you pump the brake a couple times and then hold the brake in and then loosen up the valve. After I did it with the little pump, I still wasn't having a lot of force. Like there was no pressure here on the brake. So once I did it with the old school, I guess, method, everything worked out really good. So, and now like the front brake actually feels like the front brake. So I think moving forward, I'm just gonna do that strategy with all of them. And next we're going to do the front clutch. Alright, absolutely nothing came out, so we're going to try the pump. So for some reason I'm not getting like any fluid anywhere, which is a little worrying. So I'm going to try to do it into the top one and get the fluid inside the master cylinder, and hopefully it'll work from there. So my new hope is that because I filled the master cylinder with fluid, now when I do this, I'll actually have something happening, because I don't know why, but it just was not working a minute ago. And there we have liquid. Alright, that seems solid to me. I'm getting resistance in the clutch now, so I should be able to take this guy off. One thing I do like about this little pump is if I create a vacuum, like pump it up and I create this needle to go up, when I bring the pump line like off of the exhaust tube, it that vacuum of air kind of sucks all of the liquid that's at the end of the tube down the tube, and it doesn't spill out everywhere. Just like a random little thing I've noticed. We should have front brakes and be able to pull the clutch in now, which is, you know, relatively important. Alright guys, so we got the front brake and the clutch, and now we got to do the rear brake. Now, we've got a little bit of extra stuff to do with the rear brake, because not only do we have to now get the clear tubing on the old piece, but we've also got to install the brake light switch. And some of you guys were saying you recommended something really smart that I like the idea of, but I gotta go get it. So here is the old brake light switch. The little connector is inside of here and it fits into the stock stuff. A couple of you guys said, well, since these are so different, my issue was this was nothing like this, so I couldn't plug and play it. A lot of you guys said, why don't you cut this off, and then route them separately, like make this part of this instead, and then you could plug it into the factory harness. And I'm like, oh my god, genius. So I'm gonna try to do that. Worst case scenario, I ruin it and I take it to Mountain Motorsports and I just be like, fix. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but you know what? You never know. That's the joke. Okay, we gotta get this guy off. We're still missing this giant bolt, by the way, so if it looks sketch, that's why. Now, if I remember correctly, this bolt goes into the banjo bolt location right here. You guys can't see it on that side, which is not a big deal because we don't have any brake fluid inside of here. So we should be able to just unplug all this stuff. There's some type of liquid in there. Don't know what it was. If I didn't despise these little clamps already, I would definitely despise them now. Like, you can clamp them in together, but that literally doesn't do anything. You know what? All this time I've always used my safety stuff and always used gloves. And now I'm sitting here working with brake fluid with it flashing everywhere, like flying everywhere, and I don't have either. Okay, we should be good now. Like I was doing. Or back to what I was doing. Whoa! Whoa, death. Brake fluid death. Oh no. Ah! Shit! Bad. All the bad. Worst case scenario. Oh no. Must hurry. Brake fluid must not get on anything. Code red, Alpha Delta. Code red. Not the Mountain Dew. Alright, Alpha Delta Bravo team. We have resolved the brake fluid issue. God, I grabbed so many paper towels. Whew, probably didn't need that many. So in order to move forward, we're going to have to take out the banjo bolt. Or, excuse me, Banjo-Kazooie bolt. Let's go ahead and just pile the paper towels down there because we know what's about to happen. Holy cow, man. That thing is not budging at all. I can try bolting it down and seeing if I can get it out that way. I really don't know what else to try if bolting it down doesn't work. I'm gonna go ahead and get some paper towels in here though. Alright, that should hold it on. Now we gotta see if I can actually get to it. Yeah, it sits at like an angle. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Finally, holy shit, man. That's such an awkward place to try to get leverage. I think I got it in. Okay. Alright, so at least it's threaded. Alright, so getting it threaded is like the super hard part. Alright, that was a horrid pain in the ass. But we got it. Okay, now that we got the little brake switch going, we can use the hose we have and go ahead and get it running from the top and the bottom. I gotta go grab two of the little clamps though. Hose will go in there. Alright, gonna make a guesstimation on the hose length. I've got 3 more hoses just in case one of these is like too short or I cut it too short or too long. Okay. Wow, I was actually able to do that with my hands. That's awesome. Alright, and that'll go there. Okay, those hoses are working. So with the wiring stuff, I don't need to wire it until I get the brake fluid going because the fluid is what actually triggers the brake light. So I'm going to do the same thing like I did earlier and get the fluid into here, pump the brake, and then suck it out the back. First, I guess I should probably secure it onto there though. Alright, so before I start getting all the liquid in it, I'm going to get this thing locked down because you can see it can kind of move a little bit. So I'm going to get it taken off of this nut because like the angle of everything works fine. So I'm going to get it off of here and tighten everything down. Then we can start doing the whole like liquid process. Alright, that ain't going nowhere now. Alright, so first thing I gotta do is precariously get this brake fluid into this reservoir. Lord, what a precarious little place. That's in there. Now we're gonna go to the other side and get the exhaust valve hooked up. Man, talk about sketchy positions for a the little valve for this thing. I got a little bit coming out, but it was really hard for you guys to see. So I'm gonna do it from this direction. Alright, so I've got it to the point where nothing more is coming out other than air. So I'm going to fill that up a little bit, then I'm going to get it screwed back on. Okay, so far so good. Everything's working. You can spin this tire and stop it with the brake. Now for the one thing that I've always been terrified to do, and that is electrical work on a motorcycle. So we've got our old brake light switch. Going to plug it in. So basically all I've got to do is connect these two and they should work. All right, well, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, from here forth, I have no clue what I'm doing. So, awesome. The only knowledge I have from here on is from my shitty shop class that I took when I was in high school. I passed that class, just for your knowledge, but I don't think that's saying much. I guess what I should do is like twist them together, turn the bike on, and see if the brake light comes on. Seems solid. I can only imagine how many cringe comments I'm going to get from all of the electricians in the group. So, if this is cringeworthy, then I apologize. Okay, those are now connected. Let's see what happens. Front brake works. Wait. Oh snap! Holy shit, that worked. The light comes on. Okay, that's good. Yes, that's awesome. What in the hell are the odds that I did it right the first time? Woohoo! Lucky boy. All right, so now we just have to wire it to make more sense than this, because this doesn't make sense at all. All right, so we can feed this underneath there. I also got some electrical stuff. I got this heat shrink tubing kit. Seems pretty legit. I assume that the way this works is that I feed this into here, right? And just put it all up in there. You guys have no clue how nice it is to have a lift that can, you know, change your perspective on your workspace. Because without this, my back would be so done. Okay. I really hope my high school electric shop coach person teacher thing, really hope he doesn't watch this channel. Because he's going to look at this and be like, I passed you through that class. And I'm going to be like, suck it, nerd. Man, my whole little like, I'm smart, I'm going to get heat shrink stuff might not be a good plan. Yeah, it's not fitting around. Well, okay, hold on. Let's make sure it works now. Yep. Okay. None of these are super huge. Wait, that one's super huge. Can I just like fit it all in here? No. What about this one? Is this even bigger? Oh, it is. Oh, snap. Come on, get on. Get in the game, son. That's gonna be a super... Wait, did I leave the bike on? Whoops. All right, now that the bike's not on and I shouldn't get electrocuted. Okay, so now I'm just gonna clip the back part of this off. Also, here's my time that I tell you every single time. I have no clue what I'm doing. Do not copy what I'm doing or think that if you do what I do, you'll do it correctly, because you probably won't. Okay, we got this on. Now we need a heat gun. Lucky enough, I got one. You boys ready to warm some stuff? Oh wait, we can't do this. Remember, safety first. Okay, now if this stuff works like I randomly assume it will, if I shoot the heat gun at it, it'll shrink. Don't worry, I'll wait. Oh, it is shrinking. Oh my God, look at the little baby hole. I guess there is a limit to how much it can shrink. It's hot. Holy shit. That shit is hot as hell. I'm gonna weld it shut. I need it a little more pliable than that. It's like little lips. Okay, success. Great, now the Monster has just like a little pair of balls just hanging. Great, well it's a real man of a bike now. Holy shit, that's hot. Okay, cool. Alright, so try as I might, I wasn't able to really illustrate what I was doing in here, but basically I've tucked all of the man nuts of the bike up into this area. So we've got everything in here, and if we turn the bike on, you guys can see the brake light. But as you can see, it is working. Ugh. Nice. Guys, the more I do these episodes, the more I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm going to show you guys another really awesome trick for cleaning up your motorcycle lift. Watch. Red lift. I see you are dirty and I need you to be clean now. There you go. That worked out pretty good. Now that we have finally got all of the liquid stuff working with the bike, next, we got to put the fender on, and then I'm going to get the gas tank up because we got some more wiring to do. You know, wiring on a motorcycle is pretty much my nightmare, so I think I'm going to call this episode "This Is My Nightmare" or something about that, because I've never been a fan of doing electrical stuff on bikes because like so much can go wrong, and if it goes wrong, I think it's hard to diagnose. So hopefully this goes well. Yay! Alright, now that we got this sketchy ass just that, I think we're going to try to install this giant horn. From what I can tell, the old horn is right there. So I'm going to try to take this panel off and see if that'll give us access to the horn. basically we need access to the horn so that we can get the wires that make the horn go off and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna try to get into there, and then we'll try wiring everything up. Damn, there's way more into that than I expected. Okay. Alright, so there's the horn, so we should be able to just get it out by getting onto that thing. Alright, so there's the little teeny horn. Just as a size comparison, that's the sound bomb. Alright guys, as you can see, there's a cluster of stuff going on, and I've been looking over the instructions for this thing and, you know, taking a peek at underneath the bike and trying to figure out the best place to install this thing. And from everything I've seen, my best bet with this bike to make it the least visible is put the compressor inside here, zip tie it, stuff all the wires inside of there with it, put those boards back on, and then the actual horn unit, which is right here. This thing's actually got holes for you in order to be able to, Jesus Christ, zip tie it right here and right here. I think I'm just gonna place it right there and then put 2 zip ties over there, and the horn will sit right there. With it being right there, it'll be towards the front of the bike, and it should work out. I've read the diagram of how to wire everything, and I think I've got it down. Hopefully it is as easy as my brain is thinking it will be. I almost forgot to do this before we install the new horn. I'm going to turn the bike on, and I'm going to blow the regular horn. This is the horn like from the factory. You guys ready? Oh God, that noise in a tiny little area is terrible. All right, so looking at the horn upside down, we got a purple wire and we got a black wire, and that is what a horn looks like. Oh God, everything's coming off. Okay, snap. Now we got this cluster of wires we got to get figured out. I'm gonna go ahead and route the wires that go into the battery first, and I think I'm gonna bring everything back down to this area. I don't know how the hell all this stuff's supposed to fit in here, but whatever. All right, so these are the wires that go to the battery. So we're going to so there's plenty of space to get to the battery. These that I assume fit these guys because they are literally the exact same thing. I'm pretty sure that black is like negative, so I'm gonna put the black wire here. I feel like I'm in a Mission Impossible movie. It's like, dude, get the green, snip the green wire. This was not that exciting. Okay. Next is the part that I'm really curious about. These two, I assume, fit into the stock housings. We have a red wire that I think is like positive, and here we have a purple and a black. I'm gonna attach the red to the purple and the blue to black because I really got no reasons why. I don't know what I'm doing. So hopefully that works. Hose goes into that. And then a hose. Camera. All right, so we've got our hose into the compressor, and now we have this hose in the actual horn unit. If everything is done correctly, this should work right now because everything is hooked in. So, against my better judgment, I'm going to go turn the bike on, and I'm going to see if this goes off. God help my soul. Fire in the hole. Yes! Hold on, fire in the hole one more time. Are you freaking serious? Oh my God. Okay, so massive props to Denali. That horn sounds hilarious. And so you can buy the horn, and you can also buy a quick, like a plug-and-play wiring harness, which is what I bought. It's actually what Revzilla recommends on their website, so I'm glad they said that because that made this so freaking simple. And I got this stuff off of Revzilla, so I think this is like a universal item too, so you guys can get it for your bike. Okay, so now, the challenge now is that I have to get everything zip tied and installed and tucked away before we can move on to the LEDs. So that's what we're gonna be working on now. So my wiring work is not bad today. Let me just, like, can we all agree on that? Like, I have made really good guesses. Just saying. That gas tank is flopping all over the place, man. I can just see I'm sitting here focusing on doing what I'm doing, and then the gas tank just falls over and I'm all like, ah! That would be my nightmare. This is not a time for this nut. Okay. I knew that was gonna happen when I was in the worst position possible. Okay. We are now going to take a short break and be right back to your regularly scheduled wrecked bike rebuild after I have dinner and get away from this motorcycle for right now, because I just get hit in the head with a freak. Anyway, you know, stuff. And we're back with wrecked bike rebuild after dinner time and chilling away from things, because it turns out that getting hit in the head with stuff is frustrating. So now we're gonna finish building the horn, or installing the horn, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay, and just like that, now the Monster has a giant ass train horn. You know, looking at the Monster back here, I mean, you can't even really see the horn. It blends in really well. And then on this side, it'll look the exact same as it did. So overall, the horn install looks pretty good. We're gonna move on now to the LEDs while we still have the gas tank suspended above. Once we get the LEDs installed, we'll bring the gas tank back down and get everything put back together and get the sliders on. LED time. That moment that you're looking at your footage and you're like, why is he not saying anything? And then you realize your microphone's off and you were talking a minute ago and then you didn't get anything. Solid. Well, I'm putting the gas tank back on because I think what I was saying in that part of the video was I tried to do the LED stuff. That didn't work out because I don't have the connectors, but I'm just going to throw that off on something Mountain Motorsports can do when they have the bike. Because, you know, that's the options we got. No big deal about that. The LEDs are going to get installed underneath, like inside the red frame of the bike, so that they'll illuminate the engine, and then we might put two in the back to illuminate the rear wheel. I'm going to get them to do that. So what we're going to do now is install the fairings, get them back on there, get the front fender back on, then get the sliders back on. That's what we're currently working on. We also have the microphone on now, so that's awesome. Alright guys, so the final two things we're going to be putting on the bike are these silver little handlebar or bar end sliders, and we've got the actual like motorcycle sliders over here. And all of this was sent to me by a buddy of mine. He has a YouTube channel, his name is Clutch First. I know a lot of you guys are probably here just for the build, but I know there are a good bit of you guys that are probably here because you like the Monster. Well, Clutch rides a Monster as well. He has a sick looking bike, so shout out to him for setting all this up. He actually got in contact with Motivation, the guys that make this. And I've had to buy a couple things from Motivation earlier in the build, and I can legitimately say they are a legit website. I've dealt with a couple that are a giant pain in the ass. They are luckily not in that group. They actually like send stuff out when they're supposed to and all that kind of stuff. So good stuff from Motivation. Thank you, Clutch First. I appreciate the sliders. His joke was to keep the motorcycle or the Monster safe in case my Ducati, you know, past comes back and haunts me. So if you guys want to check him out, links will be in the description. But we're gonna finish these last couple things up so I can be done, because Jesus, this is probably the longest episode yet. Let's go. Now that is a modification. Literally 1 bar, 2 screws. All right, front sliders. Those look pretty good. I like that. Yeah, that's gotta be there. I was literally sitting there screwing because I guess of the force on that rod. It's just got friction, but I felt the friction. I was like, I'm still working something. I was literally doing nothing. So I don't necessarily know if this is a good strategy or not, but there seems to be a lot of force on the rod that's in the middle. So I'm pushing the rod out through using the new rod and just hammering it in the side. I totally nailed the chair. The only question is, why is the new one not coming through? Maybe it's because of the weight of the engine is like pressing it down. That totally did it, by the way. I had to alleviate some of the pressure, like the weight of the engine on that rod, and luckily I have that. Very fortunate that I had the tool for that, because otherwise I'd be up shit creek. Still wouldn't have that little paddle. All right, frame sliders. Whew. Okay, final thing. Okay, rear slider. Now the question is, will the bike stand up on its own without the center stand? It's gonna be terrifying, and we're about to find out. So here's the deal. I was gonna like walk around the bike with the camera and show you all the specific stuff and give you an explanation of what's going to be going on in the next episodes, but I'm too damn tired. It's too freaking late, and this episode's too freaking long. Welcome to the very, by far, the longest wreck bike rebuild, but everything I'm touching is officially on the bike. insert the little kid yay thing. That was a long freaking day. Holy hell, I don't even know what time it was. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. So how about a like button for no longer Chase touching the motorcycle? I'm sure everybody's really excited. Okay, so the things left to do is the LEDs. Mountain Motorsports is going to be handling the exhaust, the rear shock. I'm getting new brake pads on the front and rear. And they're going to do the 7,500 mile maintenance or service, which the bike only has, I think, 6,900 miles on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get that on because that shit's really expensive. So I want the bike to be in tip-top condition. Episode 13 of this series will be at Mountain Motorsports. I'll take you guys along with getting the bike there, getting all the service done on it, and kind of walk you through what's happening during the video. That's what the next episode will be. The episode after that, I will be registering the motorcycle. So for you guys that are curious what episodes are coming up, any of the stuff that I was not able to get installed, aka the LEDs, there's something else, I can't think of it right now, whatever. That's all. I'm just gonna throw that in a pile of stuff to like Mountain Motorsports, have fun. A couple other things that are gonna be happening off camera that I don't really have an episode to really show you guys. The middle clamp here holding on, holding the handlebar on, I'm going to take that to get powder coated. I'm also going to take the kickstand to get powder coated. Those are going to get powder coated black, and you will see them probably after the after taking it to Mountain Motorsports, or it might be on beforehand. I don't know. At some point, those are going to get done. They won't be on camera, but obviously, I'll show you guys whenever those are done. As far as this episode goes, big shout out to RevZilla because some of the parts I put on, they helped out with. And Motivation and Clutch First. All of those are fantastic people / companies. I recommend you guys check them out in the description. What else? What else? I think that's it. I'm going to go pass the hell out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. That tells me that you guys are enjoying this type of content. And if you enjoy this series, make sure to check out the Patreon page. And potentially support if you want a chance at winning this motorcycle or getting gifted this motorcycle whenever it is finally finished, which should be in 2 episodes. Also, there's a little weirdness with the schedule because a lot of you guys know my fiance and I are going to be getting married in less than a week. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have the wedding, the honeymoon, so there will be no Wreck Bike Rebuild episodes for 2 weeks. I'll insert the date right here when the next episode will be. I'm not doing these episodes when I'm on my honeymoon because, like, how the hell would I do that? Hopefully you guys understand, and if you don't, whatever. But guys, I am Chaseontwowheels. This is Wrecked Bike Rebuild. These hands, do you see them? They're finally done with one bike. Obviously another one will be on the way afterwards. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'm going to get the hell out of here. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. If you watched to this point, let me know in the comments with a high five. You guys are awesome. That was my high five to you if you made it to this point in the video. If you haven't seen all the episodes in this series, there will be a series click link thing at the very end of the video. I'm literally gonna pass out later. Thank you guys for watching. Deuces.